Hey guys, thanks for joining me while I continue to put the garden to rest for the year. I have a short break in the weather, basically just this morning, all week, from the rain, so I need to get some beneficial nematodes sprayed on my soil. I've had a terrible go with some pests, including ants and pill bugs, just decimating young plants last year, and so I'm going to try to get ahead of it and fight back against some of the bad bugs with some of the good bugs. I might share a little bit more about kind of my experience last year later in the video. So this is a different corner of my yard than you saw last time. This is actually in the backyard. I have just a little bit of space here that it gets a nice amount of sun, and that actually has a little bit of a raised bed already built in. So I moved my strawberries here from where they were last year, and so hopefully they like this spot. And some brassicas over here, and they probably won't produce anything, but at least they're putting some roots in the ground, kind of acting like a little bit of living mulch. Before I get going and start figuring out how to do this, it's my first time, I just want to say thank you to the folks that watched my first video, and the couple of you that subscribed. That was a really fun surprise, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoy following along with me this season, and let's get going on today's job. Thanks. So I got my nematodes from Nature's Good Guys. I've used them before for ladybugs, but I haven't used many of their products, so they literally just come in this little packet. It's been in the fridge for the last couple days while I was waiting for the rain to abate. And there's a lot of ways to apply them, but essentially you're putting them in water and then spreading the water over the beds that you want to work the bugs into. This is where I now realize I wish I had a hose end sprayer attachment, and I don't. I only have one of those pump things, and I used it for something with essential oils last year, and now the peppermint, it won't go away. I can't get in there, my arm in there to scrub it. So I think I'm gonna have to do this with a watering can, which is a little unfortunate. I'm gonna cover about 500 square feet, and so I'm just gonna figure out how I need to mix this up. I probably need to clean a bucket and then evenly distribute this. This back bed that I am in front of right now was hit the very worst with the pill bugs, and I know pill bugs aren't always bad, but they were a massive pest for me last year, and I lost so many seedlings to them. Part of me wonders if that may be due partly to the fact that this fence butts up against some other yards, and basically what's on the other side is a bunch of tree debris that just sits there, and so that's really the ideal home for pill bugs and things like that, because they like to eat the decaying woody matter. As you can see, I've got a few brassicas here, which are very happy, but they're just not getting big, and I don't know that they will. I guess I could eat the leaves if I want to, but I'm just leaving them. It's kind of an experiment. And then I've got a bunch of strawberry starts that are runners in a previous bed that was way too crowded. I pulled them up and replanted them, and they've been here for probably a month and a half now, and they're very happy. At some point I will need to add some mulch to these, but it's been so warm, we haven't even really gotten a freeze yet, that they do not need it yet. I'm just double checking the soil temperature here to make sure it's safe to apply the nematodes. It is safe to apply them between 40 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. This is just the soil temperature thermometer. So looks like we're still in the clear. I'm gonna go add the nematodes to the water, stir them up, and then we'll start applying. Okay, so I'm adding the nematodes into the water. Okay guys, that first bed is done. I did want to clarify something though. Usually you're supposed to wet down the soil first, then apply the nematodes, then wet down the soil again. Because we've had so much rain and rain's coming again in a couple hours, I don't need to do that. Additionally, I can basically apply them anytime during the day since it's cloudy, otherwise I should be doing morning or evening. I am going to head down to the larger garden and get those beds covered next. Okay, I had to show you guys that I have garlic popping up that I planted in November, which is super exciting. And of course it's covered by leaf mulch. But I'd planted chestnut red, which is a hard neck, and early Italian red, which is a soft neck. And it's fun to see the progress. Oh, Rascal had to come check it out too. Hi, Rascal. I'm probably going to be adding some mulch on top of these garlics that are popping up. I'm a little concerned because it's been so warm that they might be growing a little faster than they should at this point. I don't want them to end up getting frostbitten or damaged, so I'll be adding some mulch for that reason. But also I'm noticing in some spots where you don't have perfect coverage, I'm getting a few native weeds popping through. So I'd like to stay on top of those. I basically just used leaves from my cherry tree to mulch, and I didn't have enough to cover everything. So I need some extra anyways. These brassicas are looking really happy, but like the other ones, I don't think they're going to produce anything. Obviously I can eat this kale and some things and supplement some salads. I just finished putting the nematodes on the garden beds. I'm going to add some to the fruit trees since I have a little extra, just on the ground around them. Alright guys, I'm headed inside. Thanks again for joining me. I'm hopeful that these nematodes are going to make a difference for my soil and pest issues next year. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Have a good one. Bye.